In the Halloween trilogy, Michael Myers is transferring evil all over the place. This person, that person, you, me, them, everybody. Uh, let's just slow down for a second. Let's talk about this. What's going on, guys? We're going to be talking about the evil in Michael Myers and whether or not it was transferred not only to Corey, but multiple characters. And this is in reference to an article I read not too long ago. And this is also in tandem with a couple of my latest videos and comments from you guys, and also polls where I've literally asked, do you guys think that Michael Myers passed his evil energy, his evil essence into Corey Cunningham in Halloween Ends? And the results of the poll were very interesting. We had a higher percentage saying yes, he transferred the evil into Corey. We had some people saying they don't know. We've had some people saying no. And so, anyways, this is an interesting conversation that I wanted to talk about. But first, before I get further into this, please hit the like button. It helps to support the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the Night Watch Zone, please do so. This is going to be lit, this conversation.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Now, in this article, it referenced something about the trilogy, and it also talked about how in Halloween Ends they introduced this new vague lore regarding Michael Myers, and that it could explain three particular bizarre moments across 2018's Halloween and also Halloween Kills. Now, that's what I want to talk about. Now, this author also said that although the new movie did not outright confirm anything, it seemed to show the weakened Michael Myers transferring his evil into the new serial killer, Corey Cunningham. Now, my personal feeling on this, and you guys know where I stand on this, is that he didn't transfer his evil from within him into Corey like some type of supernatural event or like a magical beam. I just don't think that's what happened. And I also think that there is evidence to show why that was not the case. Now, I know a lot of people have also talked about the novel and also the other way that they were going to end the movie, but again, that's not what we saw, and the novel is not what's canon. There are a lot of novels with movies that change up certain plot points, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. And we've seen that whether you're talking about Star Wars or, tons of different movies. So the novel doesn't count, guys. I'm just giving you my opinion. You can take it or leave it. We're going by what we saw in Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. And they are connected, obviously, to Halloween 1978. Okay? So, let me talk about these three things that they reference that lead one to think that Michael is transferring evil. The first example is in 2018 when Michael is just going off on the town. He's having that rampage in that really amazing one take shot where he's walking down the street and he's around everybody. Nobody knows. They are right in the heart of darkness with Michael Myers. It's a fantastic scene, so well done. David Gordon Green, they knocked it out of the park, especially with this particular scene. But the incident or the moment that is really illustrated is when he goes into the house and there's that baby, and Michael, acknowledges the baby, sees the baby or whatever, but does not kill it. And this particular person was inferring that, well, Michael's transferred the evil into this baby, and that baby can, grow up to be an evil being just like he was. Or else, why didn't he kill the baby? Now, personally, I think it's more of just logistics. You're not gonna have Michael Myers killing a little baby. He did kill a kid, and I gotta admit that took me off a little bit. I was like, wow, he killed a kid. The kid had to have been like 14 in the truck. Although I gotta admit, that kid should have known better. That kid was dealing with Annie rules. Annie rules. When you go into the car, you you check the back seat. But Michael killing the kid, that was pretty intense. I was thinking, wow, we had never seen him kill someone that young. He's tried to, most notably with Jamie Lloyd, which is why I also think, as much as I love the Jamie Lloyd movies, the trilogy, and obviously the character, that's why I always kind of thought that was a troublesome equation, which thankfully they had Rachel involved to be the final girl, the adult. But they're inferring, okay, well, Michael didn't kill the baby because he spared the baby so that the baby could grow up to be like him. I don't buy that one bit. I think it's more just logistics of the movie. And also the fact that Michael doesn't kill everyone. We've seen that in all of these movies. There are times when he just does not kill everyone. When he was walking down the street, there are kids walking right by him. We've seen that time and time again. He does not kill everyone. There's adults that he doesn't always kill. The point of that is there's no rhyme or reason. We don't know when it's going to happen. It's a roll of the dice. That is what makes him seem like he's more than human, but he is a man. And John Carpenter himself said that he's almost supernatural. That was the blueprint, is that he's this man that seems to be almost supernatural. That comes from Carpenter himself. And we know that David Gordon Green was following the blueprint of John Carpenter. So that's the first moment. The second moment that they speak about is with Dr. Sartain, that Michael transferred his evil into Sartain, and that's why Sartain becomes bloodthirsty, and he tries to kill Officer Hawkins. He puts on the mask. He's trying to kidnap Allison. He's bringing Michael to Laurie's compound. All of that is happening because Michael transferred his evil into Dr. Sartain. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. What I see it as is that here you have this doctor that has worked with Michael for years. Not only that, but he's working in a place where he's around severely ill people. That can be enough of a stressor in and of itself. But it's a curiosity more than anything else, at least in the beginning, right? He's curious about Michael. When you have the podcasters, Dana and Aaron, when they come to talk to Michael, you can tell that Sartain is very intrigued by what's going to happen. Will he respond to them? Will he notice the mask? Obviously, everyone else in the courtyard was responding to the mask. And I love the way that they showed James Drew Courtney just turn to the side just a little bit. He could sense the mask. A great scene, but I see Sartain as someone that has been so close to the quote unquote to the case that he falls off the edge. He falls off the edge. And when he's out and about in the SUV with Hawkins and Allison, and they're hunting down Michael, that was an opportunity for him to really see his curiosities unhatched. That's what that was to me. It wasn't that an evil energy was passed from Michael into him. And besides, when did that happen? Did it happen before the bus crash? Did it happen before Michael was being transferred? Again, I just don't see that. I really don't. I mean, you guys let me know what you think about Sartain. Sartain to me is on the opposite side of the spectrum from Loomis. This is where Loomis could have ended up if he allowed his curiosity and his obsession, and also being so consumed with catching Michael or understanding Michael. That's what's going on. That's where the evil is infecting you. It's because of from within. Everyone has the choice to make whether they're good or evil. They work for good or for evil. And with Loomis, he always was on the side of good. He wanted to stop Michael from hurting or killing others. Now, interestingly enough, in the Halloween films, as time went on, he definitely became a lot more unhinged. And I think that was a really good character choice by the filmmakers, by Donald Pleasance, because that would make sense when you're dealing with Michael Myers for all those years and trying to stop him and coming so close to death yourself and so forth. You become a different person. So that worked. But to me, Sartain is what Loomis could have become but didn't. Sartain, inside of himself, that pendulum between good and evil was always closer to evil. He opened himself up to those possibilities, to those murderous instincts, those bloodthirsty instincts. And again, when the opportunity presented itself, when they hit Michael and he goes outside to see if he's alive, and then Frank comes up from behind, he chose evil. It wasn't because there was some essence poured into him. It just wasn't. So that's the second point. The third point, and this is probably one of the most interesting points, is the town of Haddonfield. The people that were infected with the evil, Michael actually passed his evil onto them, passed his curse, quote unquote curse, onto him. And again, with the article, presenting things like this, it's an interesting read, but I don't buy into that. When you look at, and it's funny because I've recently been talking about this, but when you think about things like Haddonfield being consumed by Michael Myers, the trauma and the travesties and all the deaths that he caused, there are a lot of people that just wanted revenge. That's what that was. They just wanted revenge. It wasn't even a question of an evil being transferred to them. They wanted to avenge the fallen. And we even saw times in the franchise when they would do the same type of, story beats, whether it was in Halloween 2, when they went to the Myers house and, they're throwing stuff in the windows. When you talk about Halloween 4, when they had their little vigilante posse coming after Michael, and so forth and so forth. So I think this was just an illustration of how people can be consumed with their own anger and guilt and hate. We saw that in Halloween Ends with the parents of the little boy. They got consumed. But just like anything else, you have a choice. The mother chose to go into the hate, go into the anger, and so forth. Whereas the father was trying to actually forgive Corey, understand, and let go of the anger and hate. So again, Michael's not transferring evil into these people. He is simply there, and people are reacting to the things that are going on. That's what's happening. For you guys that are watching, and so many of you guys that left comments, keep leaving comments, but also let me know what makes you think that the evil was actually transferred. And I'm talking about like energy. I'm not talking about, this is how I look at it. When Corey looked into Michael's eyes, when Michael looked into Corey's eyes, there was more of a recognition as far as we're similar. We're alone. We're loners. We've been ostracized, whatever, right? Michael saw in Corey an emptiness, being alone, being bullied, not having anyone, and so forth. But it's not like Michael said, okay, well, now I'm going to pass my evil onto you because I'm weak and I need help and this and that. When Michael looked into his eyes and you saw all those flashes of the things that Corey had been through, that was not the energy. That was just for us as the viewer to see those things. It's almost like when you're about to die, your life flashed before your eyes. That was the visual experience of it for us to see that. That wasn't anything about any energy or magical beam. None of that. None of it. Now, don't get me wrong, the other films in the Halloween franchise have leaned into the supernatural. And in those movies, with those storylines, that would work. You could say, hey, he passed on his evil into you. Just like with Halloween 4 with Jamie Lloyd.
You're goddamn right.
He infected her with an evil. He did pass evil into her because they leaned into it because of the psychic connection and all of that. That's what they leaned into with Halloween 4. But this is Halloween 2018, kills and ends. And they did not lean into that part of it. They just didn't. We have that deleted scene. We have that scene where Laurie was consumed by the evil, but they decided not to go that route. The other thing too is that the whole question of Michael's power, or whether he's supernatural or not, that's always best left unanswered anyways. And David Gordon Green was really smart not to give specifics and definitive answers. It is supposed to be that question, that fine line, that gray area. What can he do, what can't he do? That's what's really, really interesting. But like I've said before, even in the other Halloween movies, when he's face to face with people and looking into their eyes, he's not passing evil on to them. He's done it with Laurie. He's done it with Lindsay, over and over again, time and time again. Loomis, so he's not passing on an evil essence per se, but he is evil. Being in the presence of an evil person can sometimes cause you to go down your own dark path. To me, that's what's happening in Halloween Ends. Corey is already a damaged individual, right? His mind, his psyche, he's already damaged. He's already walking down a dark path, and you could see that. You could see that even in the scene with the bullies at the store, when he breaks the glass. He was already walking down that dark path. He just hadn't made the choice yet. When he was in front of Michael, that's when the choice was made. He made that choice. That's what happened as far as I'm concerned. And I think there's a lot of evidence that we've just talked about that shows that. If you guys in the chat, let me know what you think. This is a conversation I really enjoy having because there's been so many interesting viewpoints and perspectives that you guys have given. And to be quite honest, I enjoy hearing it and trying to see, what makes the most sense to me. What do I agree with? What do I disagree with? But I'll tell you what, guys, there's no doubt for me, there's no energy transfer. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let's talk about this. Let's have fun with it. I think it's a really great conversation. This is something that I'd love to even do on a live stream. You guys let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit the like button. It helps to support the channel and I appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to the Nightwatch Zone, please do so. This is the time to do it. We're having a lot of fun conversations. And yeah, we're heading into Halloween season, so it's going to be a fun time of the year as well. Also, hit the join button next to the subscribe button. It allows you to be a channel member. You help support the channel, but you also get exclusive perks, content, watch parties, hangouts with us, and so forth. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.